Brexit is a distraction. What's it a distraction from? A secret little enemy marauding through your house when you least expect it, crawling up your shower curtain, waiting for you to scare the living bejesus out of you. That's right, the common house spider. Now, if you watch my video on the film called The Fear Machine's New Best Friend, the far-right myth, I can't remember the full title, it'll be up there somewhere. Something that I did sort of miss out, but I did relate to some of my friends after they watched it, about how, you know, the media uses a lot of fear. It's genuinely a fear machine, pumping fear into us consistently all the time. You know, you had the Islamic bogeyman, now you got the far right bogeyman. And one great example is this annual event of when autumn comes in the UK, and the biggest spiders you can get in the UK, you know, the house spiders are not that big, and they're very big, they're huge, and usually they come out when you see house spiders in the house. Apparently it's actually because they're it's usually males you see, because the females are even bigger, and I've seen some females and they be scary. I am an arachnophobe, okay, proud of it, okay, so I'm fearful of this shit too. But the male spiders are usually coming out because they're horny. They're actually looking for a mate. So when you see a house spider and you kill it, you're killing a horny spider at the end of the day. So think about that next time you flame throw it off the wall or stamp on it or whatever you do. But the fact is, we know they come out every year because we see them always. Now, you never get news reports every year about when other animals come out of hibernation, like rabbits. You know, cute little floppy-eared bunny rabbits springing through the fields. You don't see it, do you? Or lambs, you know, the lambs that get born in spring. You only have masses of stories about, oh, look, all the baby lambs. But the spiders, because a hell of a lot of people have the irrational fear of spiders, it's a very common phobia, is the fear of spiders amongst a lot of people. You know, it's probably like 1 in 3 or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, because you meet plenty of people who's like, are you afraid of spiders? And often you get the word yes coming out of their mouths. And sometimes there's other types of spiders that we're supposed to be afraid of. The most interesting one that they've had over the past few years, well, actually for longer than that, was the false widow spider, which is very interesting in itself because of its name, the false widow spider. So every year, you know, for a few years there was talk of the false widow spider, of this aggressive, tiny little spider, very distinctive, that would actually, you know, go for you and bite you. And there were reports of people being hospitalized because of bites from false widow spiders. And it was also an epidemic. Same sort of thing what you get when you have your bird flu and your swine flu and your SARS. Not saying that it's all manufactured and it's some sort of conspiracy, but the fact is, it's always been there, and you get people getting into a tiz over this stuff because the spiders are coming. Now, I'm not even going to go into this article because it's, you know, usually it's in all the, you know, the Express, the Daily Mail, and so forth. You get a lot of these spider scare stories, but it was interesting. My friend sent me one in the Huffington Post because he was skeptical about me saying that every year they run with this story or consistently. I was like, wow, he doesn't read the news enough, because and he was like, oh yeah, you're absolutely right. I was like, yeah, it's not like some conspiracy, it's what they do every year. The media every year has their spider stories because they know people are going to be terrified of it. So what good does it do? I mean, here you got the Huffington Post saying how to get rid of spiders because they're infiltrating our homes right now. And you will have stories like that, but then they'll have stories, you know, saying record number of spiders going to be here in autumn. You know, September is Spider Month. And have scary pictures of spiders. That's why I didn't use a picture of a spider, not even for the fun. Well, I'll use a cartoon. I'm going to use a cartoon spider for the thumbnail, for the JPEG, because, you know, I'm not going to be out here like, because people won't want to click on it, even though they do. And people will share this stuff across Facebook consistently. Because, oh my God, the spiders are coming. Fuck that shit. And people take videos of them, put on Facebook, look what I found. It's like, yeah, it's spider season. We all know it. We know because we see them. But the media always gives us the scare stories of spiders, reminding us of how much we're scared of spiders. You know, we're scared of murder. We're scared of terrorism. You know, we're scared of political turmoil. We're scared of many things. We have many fears. And what they do is sort of just ramp it up. And this is sort of like the very small end of their fear-mongering, if you will, if that's the right way to put it. This is like, you know, this is base stuff. This isn't life-threatening. Although, with the false widow spider narrative, I mean, that was sort of put across as dangerous and possibly life-threatening. But this is, you know the spiders are coming. Well, we're going to remind you the spiders are coming. Here comes the spiders. And, you know, story after story will be circulating as of now about house spiders. And what purpose does it serve? All right, maybe a way to get rid of them might be beneficial to people who are terrified of spiders. But for the most part, people could see that information themselves anyway, you know? I did. Just Googled it. Get some conkers. Yeah, done. You want some advice? Put conkers around the place and rub down surfaces with citrus. Your house will smell nice, and the spider, because it burns their little feet. It does. There you go. No need to click on any of these articles. But what it shows you is that we're constantly given news stories, and news stories are constantly circulated every year that just make us scared, make us angry. You know, even stories of child abuse and children going missing. It makes us scared and angry, especially parents. You know, angry mums on Facebook are the number one sharers of stuff to do with child abuse and murder because it terrifies them and it angers them, and they just want everyone to know how angry and terrified they are, and they spread it and spread it and spread it, and all you're doing is just wallowing in a world of misery and fear. Why? You know, the chances of anything bad happening to your children are relatively low, and yet, you know, you've already got that fear in you, and people know people know about your fears. They know you're scared of spiders. They know a mum is very protective of their children and is fearful all the time about what might happen to them. And yet, they ramp the fear up. They ramp up your fear. So you can have people talking about the freedom of the press and news organisations being so important. Well, when are they doing their job really, instead of just doing this? I know they've got to fill it up with content, but it's the kind of content that they choose. Now, is it because they are part of the fear machine, and they are the fear machine, and therefore they want to keep us in a constant state of pandemonium, of fear? Or is it because they're desperate, and they know it's the only thing we're going to click on? It's probably a mixture of both, in my eyes. But it doesn't benefit us at all. Despite this sort of offering some sort of advice on what to do, essentially what this is fear-mongering. Low-level fear-mongering. And this is what they do. This is what journalism is. You know what I mean? For so long we thought, it was there to bring truth to power and challenge the authority and challenge the establishment and reveal things and keep us informed. And yet it's constantly keeping us informed on stuff we don't really need to know about, and putting us in a mind state that makes us enslaved to a certain degree. I know that sounds a bit like, whoa, but it is. It is. Like, the spiders are coming. Are you scared? Well, you're going to be scared. Here's a picture of a horrible spider. They're in your house. Did you not know these spiders are in your house? How scared are you? Well, you're going to be fucking scared. It's like, yeah, we know they're here. We know. We've lived in this country for a very long time. And on a yearly basis, there they are. We know when they're coming, because they're always there at that time of year. So why don't you just keep constantly telling us about it? It doesn't benefit us to be extra scared, to be extra fearful, to be apprehensive of walking through our own home, fearful of turning off the light at night. Just think that because someone told you a story about how you swallowed 10 spiders in a lifetime. All this kind of stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't benefit us. It's not good. So I would suggest that you need to send a clear message that we don't want this fear-mongering bullshit. It's just a waste of our time reading these stories. It's a waste of our time. It's a waste of our efforts, our brain power. You know, we're better off not having this kind of thing in our lives, and we've had it for too long. And it's time. This is why the media should die, the mainstream media, because it just does this consistently. On a yearly basis, it's the same fucking story of fear. Low-level fear. So I would suggest next time you see someone share a link, and it will be on Facebook, that's where most of it is, you know, you click a little tab at the top saying, I don't want to see this post anymore. And just, you know, don't need to report anyone for it or anything silly like that. Don't be a cunt, mate. You know, I think you click, this, I'm not interested in this. This is not relevant to me. I don't want to see this. Just send out, you know, little steps to change the world. Just send out a clear message. I don't want this. Thanks. I don't need this. Life is hard enough without this. You know, maybe you'll change the world. But just reject this narrative. The spiders are coming. Like I said, Google it. Don't be constantly filling your brain with irrational fear. You've already got an irrational fear of spiders. There's no need to ramp it up. You know? The fear machine must be stopped. At all costs.